The Nightly Business Report.
Good evening. Tonight, in March 2025, Sri Lanka's production of fish, coconuts and paddy decreased. The central bank predicted that paddy output would decrease 3.8% from the previous March season. By 2030, Sri Lanka's Ministry of Plantations hopes to increase tea export revenue by 78% and production by 52.5% by standardizing Ceylon tea globally. The all-share price index dropped 61.43 points or 0.37% to settle at 16,336.25, bringing the Colombo Stock Exchange to a lower close today. And because of its massive debt profile, the federal government's flawless sovereign credit rating was downgraded, which dampened market sentiment and caused US stocks to close to unchanged. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Sri Lanka's paddy, fish and coconut production declined in March 2025, with paddy output forecasted to drop 3.8% from the previous March season, according to the central bank. Sri Lanka's agricultural sector saw mixed performance in March 2025, with declines in several key commodities, according to the central bank's latest bulletin. Paddy production for 2024-2025 March season is forecasted to fall by 3.8% year-on-year to 2.62 million metric tons. Fish production declined by 1.8% due to reduced inland fishing despite increased marine activity. Coconut production dropped sharply by 23.1% year-on-year through a gradual recovery trend has been noted since February. Rubber production also declined in February, while global natural rubber prices weakened slightly in March due to stable supply and improved logistics. In contrast, tea production surged by 24.8% in March, driven by favorable weather. Export crop prices saw mixed movements, but spice export earnings rose year-on-year, led by strong performances in pepper, cinnamon and cloves. Sri Lanka's economic crisis in 2023 led to 15.1% of the population losing their jobs, according to the Department of Census and Statistics. The report revealed that more males than females lost their primary or secondary jobs during this period. Additionally, 60.5% of households saw a decrease in their monthly income due to the economic downturn. The final household survey report also found that 91.1% of households faced an increase in average monthly expenses, while 5.3% reported no change in spending. The crisis also resulted in 54% of households incurring debt and 7% of the population was unable to access necessary healthcare treatment. The findings highlight the widespread financial strain faced by the population during the crisis. Sri Lanka's Ministry of Plantations aims to boost tea export income by 78% and production by 52.5% by 2030 through the global standardization of Ceylon tea, according to the Department of Government Information. Sri Lanka is set to introduce a standardization process for Ceylon tea to protect its international brand and ensure its quality and naturalness, according to the Ministry of Plantations and Community Infrastructure. The initiative aims to boost tea production to 400 million kilograms within 5 years and increase export income to $2.5 billion. In 2024, Sri Lanka produced 262.16 million kilograms of tea, a 2.4 rise from the previous year. Tea export earnings also grew by 9% to $1.43 billion, through India surpassed Sri Lanka's tea exports by 24 million kilograms. The low production levels have been attributed to past policy setbacks and ongoing concerns about the upcoming removal of the SWAT system. The new standardization will include internationally recognized sustainability, regenerative, forest degradation-free and zero-carbon practices. A memorandum of understanding on the initiative was signed a year ago, with a progress meeting held last Friday. Sri Lanka has appointed Amina Shafi Mohin as the new Director General of Commerce, effective immediately, according to a cabinet statement. The cabinet approved the appointment of the senior-most officer holding the position of Director of Commerce within the department. The proposal for the appointment was made by Minister of Trade, Commerce, Food Security and Cooperative Development, Wasantha Samarasinha. Amina Shafi Mohin takes over the role to lead the Department of Commerce. The appointment comes at a crucial time as Sri Lanka aims to enhance its trade and commerce policies. This move is seen as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen the country's economic governance. Let's take a short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. The Colombo Stock Exchange closed lower today, with the all share price index falling by 61.43 points or 0.37% to end at 16,336.25. The S&P SL20 index also declined, shedding 23.85 points or 0.49% to close at 4,811.19. Total share volume for the day stood at 58.4 million shares, while market turnover reached 1.51 billion rupees. For further insights, we speak with Atna Tennakorn from First Capital Holdings.
Thank you, Prashantha. Today, the Colombo Stock Exchange remained somewhat stagnant following the rally that was seen during the past couple of sessions. The ASPI showed increased volatility and dropped across the day following a brief climb that was seen during the very early hours of today. However, the index still stayed within the 16,000 range, ending the day at 16,336, having shed about 61 points. HNB, Sampath Bank, LOLC, John Keel's Holdings and Aitken Spence emerged as the top negative contributors to the ASPI today. Turnover also followed a similar path, having dropped to 1.5 billion rupees from yesterday's 2.6 billion level. This is also lower than the monthly average turnover, which stands at around 2.4 billion rupees. In terms of sector-wise contribution to turnover, the banking sector took the lead with a contribution of 23%. This was followed by the capital goods sector and the diversified financial sector, which produced a joint collective contribution of about 39%. Thank you.
Sri Lanka's manufacturing PMI dropped to 40.1 in April 2025, reflecting a seasonal contraction in activity flowing the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. Key sub-indices including production, new orders, employment and stock of purchasers declined, while supply chain disruptions lengthened delivery times. For further insights, we speak with Ranjan Ranathunga from First Capital Holdings.
Thank you, Prashantha. In April 2025, Sri Lanka's Purchasing Managers Index for manufacturing dropped sharply to 40.1 index points, reflecting a seasonal contraction. The decline was driven by reduced production, new orders, and stock purchases, while employment also recorded a decline. This was primarily due to the end-of-season demand and temporary factory closure during the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. As a result, temporary workers were released and inventory levels fell. Meanwhile, supply delivery times lengthened further due to supply chain disruptions during the holiday season. Despite this downturn, manufacturers remain optimistic about the next 3 months, anticipating rebound in the demand. Conversely, the services PMI recorded at 60 points, indicating continued expansion, although at a slower pace compared to the month of March. Growth was led by wholesale and retail segments, while financial services also recorded a growth during the period. Spurred by financial festive activity and increased lending, we saw financial services record growth as well. However, extended holidays and uncertainties around the US import tariffs impacted business operations, particularly in freight forward business. New business generation and employment rose during the period, while backlog of work declined. Business expectations for the upcoming 3 months improved, bolstered by the temporary suspension of the US import tariff. Globally, manufacturing and services PMI showed mixed results, with India and China maintaining growth, while Eurozone and UK showed a contraction or a slowdown.
Gold prices dropped in Asian trading today, reversing gains from the previous session as positive sentiment from interest rate cuts in China and Australia boosted equities. Spot gold declined by 0.6% to $3,201.65 per ounce, while June gold futures also fell 0.6% to $3,213.67 per ounce. Limited market headwinds came from China's warning that US ship export controls were undermined a recent trade truce alongside investors digesting the recent downgrade of the US sovereign credit rating by Moody's. Despite initial strength following the downgrade, gold's rebound was short-lived as the dollar and Wall Street showed resilience overnight. Oil prices remain steady today due to uncertainty surrounding US-Iran nuclear talks and Russia-Ukraine peace discussions. Brent futures for July dropped 3 cents to $64.73 a barrel, while June US West Texas Intermediate crude futures gained 48 cents to $63.17. The more active July WTI contract remained steady at $62.13 per barrel. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei expressed doubts over the likelihood of a successful nuclear deal with the US, while Tehran considered a proposal for a fifth round of talks. A potential agreement between the US and Iran could boost Iran's oil exports by up to 400,000 barrels per day if sanctions were eased. Meanwhile, oil prices were also influenced by US President Trump's reluctance to impose new sanctions on Russia, as talks for a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine were set to begin. The Sri Lankan rupee has experienced further depreciation against the US dollar today, continuing its downward trend from yesterday. According to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, both the buying and selling rates of the US dollar have risen. In addition, the rupee has also weakened against a range of foreign currencies, including those of Gulf countries. Let's take a closer look at the rupee's performance against key global currencies. Let's take a short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back. Helis PLC reported a 40% year-on-year increase in profit before tax, reaching 35.37 billion rupees for the financial year ending. The growth was fueled by strong export earnings and solid performances in the consumer retail and logistics sectors.
Helis PLC reported a record of 492.2 billion rupees in revenue for the financial year ending, marking a 13% year-on-year growth. Profit after tax surged 52% to 22.51 billion rupees, driven by strong performances across its consumer, retail and logistics segments. Exports earnings grew 3% to $875 million, representing 53% of total revenue as the company expanded into new markets and existing international markets. Despite the rupee appreciation affecting margins, gross profit rose 8%, supported by a growing share of value-added products and digital efficiencies. Earnings before interest and tax and EBITDA increased by 12% to 47.77 billion rupees and 60.02 billion rupees respectively. Net finances costs dropped 30%, contributing to higher core profitability amid falling interest rates. Helis also highlighted that a more stable macroeconomic environment in Sri Lanka, along with improved investor sentiment, helped boost growth in its domestic-facing sectors.
Bank of Ceylon UK Limited has announced the appointment of Kavin de Souza as its new chairman following regulatory approval in the UK. De Souza currently serves as chairman of Bank of Ceylon in Sri Lanka, the country's largest commercial bank. He brings over 30 years of experience in banking with 25 years in senior leadership roles. Prior to BOC, he held key positions at Citibank NA Sri Lanka, including Director and Country Business Head. His expertise in strategic planning and innovation is expected to support BOC UK's growth and transformation. Bank of Ceylon UK Limited, with a 75-year presence in the UK, continues to serve as a key financial bridge between Sri Lanka and the UK. Dialog Axiata PLC has announced $100 million investment to further enhance Sri Lanka's digital infrastructure. As the country's largest foreign direct investor, Dialog's total investments now exceed $3.37 billion, reaffirming its commitment to expanding inclusive connectivity and advancing the nation's digital future.
Dialog Axiata PLC has announced a $100 million investment to enhance Sri Lanka's digital infrastructure, bringing its total investment in the country to over $3.37 billion. The investment includes $81 million from Dialog Axiata PLC and $19 million from Dialog Broadband Networks, formalized through agreements with the Board of Investment of Sri Lanka. These funds will be used to expand mobile and fixed networks, accelerate next-generation technologies, and enhance digital platforms. A major focus is the rollout of 4G expansion and readiness for 5G services pending regulatory approval. Dialog and Axiata Group leaders reaffirmed their confidence in Sri Lanka's future and commitment to inclusive connectivity. The investment aims to boost last-mile access, rural coverage, and digital innovation across the country. Dialog continues to lead Sri Lanka's digital transformation, backed by Axiata's regional expertise and long-term vision.
Singer Sri Lanka has partnered with Hutch to expand mobile connectivity access through its extensive retail network. Hutch SIM cards will be available at 410 Singer showrooms island-wide, allowing customers to easily purchase a SIM card with a new mobile phone. Customers can also activate their connections instantly with an initial reload at the showroom. In addition, Hutch will offer exclusive discounts on 4G and 5G smartphones, along with specially curated data packages. Singer's Managing Director Mahesh Vijayawardena emphasized the commitment to providing greater convenience and value to customers. The collaboration aims to boost smartphone adoption and digital connectivity in Sri Lanka, offering seamless and high-speed services to customers. Xiaomi has launched the budget-friendly Redmi A5 in Sri Lanka, targeting young dynamic users with its stylish design and solid performance. Branded as the vibe of you, the smartphone offers modern features at an affordable price, setting a new standard for entry-level devices.
Xiaomi has launched a budget-friendly Redmi A5 in Sri Lanka, targeting young dynamic users with its stylish design and powerful performance. Branded as the vibe of the youth, the Redmi A5 combines modern features with an attractive price tag. The smartphone is designed to deliver smooth multitasking and reliable app support for daily use. It features a 32-megapixel AI dual rear camera, providing stunning portraits and landscapes with advanced artificial intelligence capabilities. The 6.8-inch 120Hz display offers an immersive experience perfect for streaming and gaming. Powered by the Unisoc T7250 octa-core processor, the device ensures efficient performance and smooth app operation. Additionally, the Redmi A5 is equipped with a 5200 mAh battery and a 15-watt fast charging for long-lasting power and quick recharging.
SLT Mobitel has entered into a strategic partnership with the Online Entrepreneurs Club of Sri Lanka to support the growth of digital entrepreneurship in the country. The collaboration aims to provide digital entrepreneurs, technopreneurs, and freelancers with access to specialized products and services to optimize their operations. SLT Mobitel will offer privileged access to its tools and connectivity solutions, empowering members to scale their businesses. This partnership also allows SLT Mobitel to extend its OECSL's growing network of digital professionals. Both organizations aim to enhance Sri Lanka's digital landscape and foster innovation in the economy. The agreement was signed in Colombo by officials from both parties, underscoring their shared commitment to empowering digital entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka. Let's take a short commercial break. Global business updates coming on the other side. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. Most Asian stocks saw marginal gains today, led by China after the People's Bank of China cut its benchmark loan prime rate as expected. The Shanghai Shenzhen CSI 300 and Shanghai Composite indexes rose by 0.3% and 0.2% respectively, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index jumped 1%. Australia's ASX 200 index gained 0.5% after the Reserve Bank of Australia lowered interest rates by 25 basis points. Japan's Nikkei 2025 and Topix indexes both added to their gains, rising 0.5% and 0.3% respectively, following US-Japan trade talks. South Korea's KOSPI and Singapore's Straits Times Index also rose by 0.2%. India's Nifty 50 futures fell 0.1%, indicating a weak start and profit-taking recent gains. US stocks finished near the unchanged mark, with the market sentiment weakened by the downgrade of the federal government's perfect sovereign credit rating owing to its huge debt profile.
U.S. stocks finished little change Monday after Moody's cut its credit rating on the United States. The Dow climbed 1/3%, while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ ended basically flat. After the market closed Friday, Moody's slashed the U.S. sovereign credit rating to AA1 from AAA, citing the government's $36 trillion of outstanding debt and interest. Stocks on the move included Novavax, which jumped 15%. After the company secured a long-awaited U.S. regulatory approval for its COVID-19 vaccine. And shares of Reddit dropped more than 4.5%, after Wells Fargo downgraded the stock to equal weight from overweight, saying the social media platform's user base is likely to decline as Google integrates more AI search capabilities.
NVIDIA plans to sell a technology that will tie chips together to speed up the chip-to-chip communication needed to build and deploy AI tools.
NVIDIA said on Monday it will sell a technology to speed up the chip-to-chip communication needed to make AI tools. The company launched a new version of this tech called NVLink Fusion and will sell it to other chip designers to help build powerful custom AI systems with multiple chips linked together. NVIDIA's NVLink is used to exchange massive amounts of data between various chips. And this move will continue to keep the company at the heart of the AI frenzy, which has boomed since ChatGPT's 2022 launch. Alongside this, NVIDIA has been designing central processing units that would run Microsoft's Windows operating system and use technology from ARM Holdings. Speaking ahead of the Computex Tech Show, its CEO Jensen Huang also announced plans to build a Taiwan headquarters in Taipei. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has threatened tariffs to pressure tech companies to increase production in the US.
That wraps up today's Nightly Business Report. We value your opinion. Share your thoughts and feedback with us through email at feedback.ad24english@derana.lk or via WhatsApp at 076-805-7933. We will see you again tomorrow with the latest updates in the business globe. Until then, I'm Prashansa Gunawardana. Thank you for watching us and have a good night.